First of all, important question: how's Robbie Cundy?
Yeah, we'll know a little bit more about that one probably very soon. But we're just waiting on a little bit of information, really. So we just have to see on that one.
Okay. Hopefully positive news there, and we've definitely got some positive news. Isaac Hutchinson in the League Team of the League Two team of the season.
Yeah.
Good night out last night to celebrate his achievements of the year.
Yeah, well, let's hope he didn't have a good night out last night. But I know he had a bit of a late night, obviously getting back from London. But yeah, it was a great achievement. So yeah, we're all delighted for him. I knew about this one a little while ago, so it wasn't a surprise last night. But yeah, really good for Hutch. I think he's enjoyed his time with us.
Yeah, and as well, of course, contributing to the squad. I mean, he's shown some real maturity at times. He's had to show some real mental strength throughout the season as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, he probably has. I mean, I think, when I first come in the door, I thought that, he'd been doing okay in the team. I thought there was some things that he needed to improve in his game. But then I could probably say that about everybody in the squad. And I think he's done that. He's worked extremely hard on improving himself and improving the team. He's had some good lads that he's been playing with this season. I think he's enjoyed it. And yeah, we've managed to get the best out of him.
Yeah, and those goals have been important as well, haven't they?
Yeah, it's not just the goals. There's the other parts of the game as well that he has to be involved in, the build up and all of that. So obviously the important part is he's been on the end of quite a few of those builds, but he still needs to play his part in that build, if you know what I mean. So, and he's done that. As I say, I think he's really, really enjoyed himself here.
Yeah. Onwards then. I mean, on Saturday afternoon, I was looking at 80 minutes. Tranmere, Newport County, both taking a point. Then suddenly Bristol Rovers score, we score. Both sides still just 1 point above the drop zone now.
Yeah.
Cheltenham, they're having a big part to play in this relegation scrap, aren't you, in these two games?
Yeah, I mean, whilst I was pleased that we won at the weekend, I don't get any pleasure when I see the Newport players at the end, their manager, their coaching staff. I don't get any pleasure out of that. It's really tough for those teams that are down there. And I genuinely mean that. Whilst, of course, I want us to win the game, I don't get any pleasure out of, probably what those managers, what those players are going through at this moment in time. Simply because I've been in that situation before and have been in it again when I came back here for a long time. So I just think it's tough until you've ever been there. It's the same as when I say about the players out in the arena. Until you've ever been out there, you don't quite know what those people are going through. So, of course, while I want to win the game, I don't get any pleasure out of people suffering. Yeah. I certainly don't. And I know, because whilst it's a wonderful career to have and fantastic to be involved in football, as I've said about the bumps in the road and all of that, and I think it's really, really tough at times. Whilst it looks a glamorous world, it's not all like that. And I have great sympathy for managers who have been and going through stressful times. I really, really do.
Yeah, it's a pretty cutthroat industry, isn't it? And yeah, this is the time of the year when it gets ramped up for those sides. Yeah. This is, of course, Tranmere's game in hand that their fans have been looking at, thinking perhaps if we can get something from this. I know Pete Wild saying if you can afford to, please can you get to Cheltenham Town on Tuesday night? We need all your help as well. So once again, it's another team scrapping, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's our game in hand as well.
Yeah.
So I suppose. Game in hand. A game in hand only means something if you get the points from it. So game in hand is, normally everybody says, well, we'd rather have the points in the bag, and most teams would definitely go for points in the bag. But yeah, as I've said, Pete, I think Pete's a great guy. I probably only met him first time maybe a couple of years ago, but I think he's a real genuine football guy, has done a terrific job wherever he's been, and had some real tough gigs along the way. And I'm sure at the moment, Tranmere are in the same boat as Newport have been, Barrow when we played them the few other weeks. And by the way, keep ourselves in that as well, because we've been around those teams for a long time, and thankfully we can not have the stresses of that. But also in the next breath, what I want us to do is I want us to stay honest, and that's where we've got to try and be. We've got to try and stay honest in this and try and stay professional. But obviously, once the game ends, if it ends and it's ended in your favour, you've still got to have sympathy and you've got to have respect for the team that have maybe just lost the game.
Yeah, sure. Obviously, Josh Davison on loan can't play. Is he useful to you, as being knowing the squad a bit more?
I'm always careful about when you've got players that are on loan from their parent club. So I haven't sat this morning and asked Josh the ins and outs of everything. We've done our meetings on Tranmere, and I haven't asked his opinion on any of the players that I've given an opinion on this morning, and their structure and how they play and what they're doing. So I'm sure Josh will perhaps talk to his teammates, but I always think it's unfair as well, sticking your loan player, as it would be, in front of you and asking him all those questions. So, I don't tend to do that too much, and I haven't done that with Josh.
And I guess they've changed a bit now with Pete Wild there, and perhaps he's trying to. You perhaps look at what he did with Fleetwood. Is that of use to you as well?
Yeah, I think not really, because the Fleetwood game when Pete was in charge was only my first game, so I wouldn't have been able to study Fleetwood too much. I was more concentrating on trying to put a team together for myself, for our club. And obviously he's only just gone in at Tranmere. We didn't play Fleetwood second time out when Pete was there. So quite what Pete is about, I can't say, well, he favours doing this and he favours doing that. But all I will say is whatever he does, he has done a good job wherever he's been. And I think probably the longer he's at Tranmere, I think he's only in at Tranmere to the end of the season, I want to say. Yeah. But the longer he's at Tranmere, he will make Tranmere a better team, and they will be a better club for his stewardship, that's for sure. But my God, we still have our own worries and our own fears and all the things that we want to do between now and the end of the season. And now there's just another game as well, as it would be. I wouldn't say in the way, but we keep playing them. Yeah. If you know what I mean. We keep playing the games, and that gets tiring as it is.
I was looking at. This is the 6th game in 19 days that you'll be playing on Tuesday night.
Yeah.
You and the lads and the whole club have done brilliantly, really, to get what you have done out of that, with the pressure, of course, of relegation still hanging you over at the same time.
Yeah, I think the lads have done brilliant, really. I think that trying to always get the lads to be all in for 95 minutes minimum these days. After only a few days break, the highs and the lows, that it's really, really difficult to explain to somebody that hasn't been that sportsman of team football what it's like. That high doesn't just last that 90 minutes. So if you get it on an afternoon game, that high will last you the rest of Saturday. You'll still be on that high on a Sunday. So when you come back in on a Monday, you've almost got to make sure that they come back down, completely down, and don't go into Tuesday night's game with their head in the clouds. So sometimes that's why you get that after the Lord Mayor's performance when you've had a good win. But then it's about grinding it out if it looks like that type of game, because not every game is going to be how you want it to be. So yeah, I think there's been not only the physical exertions, I think the mental exertions as well are immeasurable.
And this is the final midweek game of the season at Warden Road, isn't it? I mean,
yeah, thankfully, just a midweek game will do. You know.
But for some people who are perhaps involved in local football or at work on a Saturday or something, this might be the last chance they get to come and cheer you on.
Yes, it might be, and and a big thanks to those that have come and cheered us on in those midweek games. Anyway, so we're really pleased with certainly being away from that bottom half of the table. But as I've said before, and I said a little while ago, we want to try and finish the season strongly, stay professional with it if we can.
Good luck.
Thank you.